Shy boy stuns everyone with Hotel California goes viral overnight. The cafeteria was always the loudest place in school, but for 17-year-old Ethan, it felt like the loneliest. He sat quietly in the corner, clutching his worn-out guitar case, the one his late father had given him when he was 10. To most students, Ethan was just the quiet kid, the one who never raised his hand, who always ate alone, and who seemed invisible in a place where popularity was everything. What no one knew was that inside the guitar case lived the only piece of his father he had left, and the only thing that gave him courage when the world felt too big. That Friday, the school announced a talent day. Anyone could perform in front of the entire student body. It was meant to be fun, but to Ethan, it felt like a nightmare. Singing in front of people. Impossible. He could barely speak without stuttering. But something inside him whispered differently. His father's voice echoed in his memory. Music isn't about being perfect, son. It's about being real. When Ethan's name was suddenly called, pushed onto the sign-up sheet by a classmate as a joke, he froze. The gym roared with laughter and whispers, "The quiet kid? He's gonna sing." His hands trembled as he walked toward the microphone, clutching his guitar. The spotlight blinded him, and for a moment, he wanted to run. Then he thought about his father and the nights they used to sit on the porch, strumming chords to old rock songs. His father's favorite was Hotel California. With shaky fingers, Ethan started to play. At first, the crowd fidgeted, whispering and giggling. But then his voice came, soft, raspy, unpolished, but so hauntingly raw that the room seemed to freeze. His voice wasn't just singing words, it was telling a story, carrying years of love, loss, and longing. Every chord wrapped around the listeners like a spell. By the time he reached the chorus, the laughter had vanished. Students sat in silence, some wiping tears they didn't expect. Then something extraordinary happened. A janitor, Mr. Ramirez, an old Vietnam veteran who usually went unnoticed, just like Ethan, stepped quietly into the gym. He leaned against the doorway, eyes widening as the song unfolded. The look on his face said it all, recognition, memory, and healing. That song had carried him through his darkest nights decades ago. In Ethan's trembling voice, he heard his own past and his own hope reflected back. When Ethan strummed the final note, the silence lingered for a beat, heavy and sacred. Then the gym erupted, cheers, applause, shouts of his name. For the first time in his life, Ethan wasn't invisible. He was seen. A classmate filmed the entire performance, and within hours, the video was online. By morning, millions had watched it. Comments poured in from around the world, "This kid sings with a soul far beyond his years. I felt every word. This reminded me of my dad." Ethan had gone from anonymous to unforgettable overnight. But what mattered most wasn't the fame. It was what happened after. The next Monday, Mr. Ramirez approached Ethan in the hallway, tears glistening in his eyes. He placed a weathered dog tag in Ethan's hand. "You reminded me I'm still alive, son. That music, your voice, it healed something I thought was gone forever. Keep playing. The world needs it." Ethan held the dog tag like it was a medal of honor. For the first time, he realized music wasn't just his escape. It was a gift meant to be shared. In the weeks that followed, Ethan used his sudden platform not for popularity but for kindness. He organized small concerts at the local hospital, singing to patients who couldn't leave their beds. He visited a shelter with his guitar, playing for kids who had no parents to sing them lullabies. Each time, he saw the same thing he had seen in Mr. Ramirez's eyes, healing, hope, humanity. And slowly, Ethan's life transformed. The boy once laughed at for being shy became the young man others looked up to for his courage. Fame didn't change him, it revealed him. He wasn't just the quiet kid anymore. He was proof that even the softest voice could carry the loudest truth, that kindness, honesty, and a willingness to share your heart could move the world. Years later, Ethan would look back on that moment in the gym as the day his father's guitar found its true purpose. Not to make him a star, but to remind people that behind every quiet face, every invisible soul, there's a story waiting to be heard. And sometimes, all it takes is one song to bring us together. The shy boy who once sat alone now stood on stages where strangers sang along with him. But he never forgot the first time he sang Hotel California. It wasn't about going viral. It was about realizing that even in our most fragile moments, we have the power to touch lives. Because the truth is, greatness isn't in being the loudest or the most popular. It's in daring to share your heart when it would be easier to stay silent. And Ethan had done just that. Message: no matter how small or unseen you may feel, your voice has the power to inspire, heal, and change the world.